Have you ever watched a sunflower in the middle of a warm afternoon? In Hindi, it's called the Surajmukhi, literally the face of the sun. It has this incredible built-in instinct to keep its head turned upward, quietly tracking the sunlight as it moves across the sky. We were originally designed to function just like that, with our focus and our hearts naturally turned toward God. We were created to know God, to love Him, to trust Him, and to reflect His character. But collectively, humanity decided to look away. The lines meant to connect us to the light began pointing sharply downward, away from the source. Imagine an entire field of sunflowers suddenly choosing to ignore the sun and stare only at the mud beneath them. When a flower turns away from its light source, it loses its vibrant color. It stops growing. It begins to wither and rot. A world looking only at the mud quickly became a place filled with that same decay. With the entire field withering away, the original beauty of the garden was being lost. The only way to save the harvest was to find a way to start over. But there was one man who didn't follow the crowd. His name was Noah. In a world staring at the ground, Noah kept his face turned toward the light. Because Noah stayed focused on him, God extended grace to him. Think of it like a gardener reaching down to shield a single fragile flower from a storm it could never survive on its own. To preserve a future for humanity, God focused on a godly seed, a single family lineage. Here, a protective barrier was drawn around Noah to keep that one seed safe while the rest of the roots decayed. This ensured God's plan to bring the world back to its original beauty could continue, even after the flood. By keeping this one seed alive, God was ensuring that every human being born later would still have a chance to reconnect with their original purpose. This act of grace was a rescue mission, a way to reboot the design and start the garden fresh. Now, it's easy to think that if God chose Noah, it must have been because Noah was a perfect, flawless person who never did anything wrong. But the truth is, Noah wasn't perfect. Even after he was saved from the flood, the records show he struggled with the same human weaknesses and mistakes that we all do. History only gives us one example of a life lived with zero mistakes, and that was Jesus Christ. Everyone else, Noah included, has some visible flaws. So why would a man with real faults be the one chosen to carry the future of the world on his shoulders? Take a look at these two arrows. The one on the left is perfectly smooth and geometrically flawless, but it's pointing away from the light. The one on the right is rough, scratched, and asymmetrical, but it's pointing straight up. God isn't looking for a perfect surface. He's looking for a heart that is pointed in the right direction. Think of that sunflower again. Even if it has torn petals or spotted leaves, as long as it keeps its head turned toward the sun, it's doing exactly what it was made to do. Noah found grace because his heart was turned toward God, even while everyone else around him was looking at the mud. That same standard applies to us today. God isn't waiting for us to become perfect before He offers us His help and favor. Grace is a gift, not a trophy we win for having no flaws. God values the direction of your heart over the perfection of your life, and that means that turning your face back toward the light is a choice you can make right now, exactly as you are.